turn it back up. 72 would be all right. Good afternoon. I'm Mayor Chris Martin, calling to order the regular session of Logansport Board of Public Works and Safety. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Chris Martin. Here. Jacob Palmaso. Here. Levi Jones. Here. Start with the approval of minutes for the June 25th, 2025 meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second. Further discussion? Call for question. Jacob Palmaso.
Yes.
Levi Jones.
Yes.
Chris Martin. Yes. Next is the approval of claims for $289,389.94. This includes claims for $51,644.64, grant claim $8,488.04, TIF Industrial Park claim $2,700, TIF combined claims $1,194, TIF function claim $11,613.59, TIF Southside Hotel claim $50,075.64, TIF LV bond claim $49,265.63, TIF discretionary claim $6,550, police pension pay $36,996.35, and fire pension pay $70,862.05. I'll make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Levi Jones.
Yes. Jacob Palmaso.
Yes.
Chris Martin. Yes. All right. Next is public comment. Anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment, just come to the microphone. Seeing none, on to new business. Contracts and agreements. We'll start with Dwayne. H&H Landscaping.
Yeah, this is for the RDC for all the property they own, including Lexington Village and the miscellaneous properties downtown here for mowing. So this is for this year. They have the funds to pay for this, so it's coming out of discretionary, so it's not a problem.
All right. I'll make a motion to approve the H&H Landscaping Services Professional Agreement.
Second.
Call for question.
Chris Martin.
Yes.
Levi Jones. Yes.
Jacob Palmaso.
Yes.
And then Ziplum.
Zippelman Excavating, this is for tree removal that occurred out at the industrial park. They were removing about 6 acres worth of wooded area to facilitate the movement of soil from the airport into that area for building up, and then that'll raise the level to where they can add buildings to the industrial park if they want. So this is one of those things where we're not really paying much because they're going to reimburse the RDC after the soil has been placed. So
Getting reimbursed by the airport's project that they have going on out there.
there's through the federal grant or however they're doing it, is that money will replace the money we're spending for this.
Nice.
So,
Awesome.
They talk about the redevelopment commission. It's a really great partnership. I think it's
Yeah.
going to get good things done for the airport, good things done for the industrial park out there, and hopefully another lot for us to market. So it's really exciting.
Awesome. I'll make a motion to approve the Zippelman Excavating Tree Removal Services Agreement.
Second.
Call for question.
Chris Martin?
Yes.
Jacob Palmaso?
Yes.
Levi Jones?
Yes.
Thanks,
Dwayne.
Thanks, Dwayne. All right, next up is Community Development. Rob? Unsafe Structure, 121 South 6th Street. Is there anyone here to represent 121 South 6th Street? Okay. Seeing none, go ahead, Rob.
All right. So yes, 121 South 6th Street, which is Guadalinda's store. We have found the fire inspector and I have found this in violation. They have, Health Department has 6 different levels or 5 different levels of food permits. They are a level 1, which is just prepackaged food that they actually get brought in and they can resell as a grocery store. Okay? They were in violation of ordinance section 18.72, food service license, that's through our clerk's office. That takes an inspection from fire inspector, myself, planning and zoning, and health department, and then they got to do a $15 restaurant permit. Then they were in a violation of code 507, 509, IMC 675, IAC 18.1.6, section 114, unsafe structures and equipment. And originally, they weren't allowed to have a restaurant in this store because of the hood system in it was tampered with. It had been cut, extended, and then they had tried to recut it, take the extension off, and re-weld it back together, which is not an acceptable hood no longer. Once they cut it and re-weld, they cannot. It's not an acceptable hood system. So we had found and caught them with propane tanks and outdoor grills inside, and I had given them an order they had to remove them. We watched them remove it, but we had found that they had put them back in place and was using them. And then on a date, I got called out to a water heater fire, and thank God it was in another room and not in the kitchen room. But they were in there presently baking and cooking with all those units again. So I issued them a unsafe fine of $500, which they just did pay within 15, 20 minutes ago. But I'm looking to, if they operate again as a restaurant until they're actually approved with an appropriate commercial hood system, that we need to actually have them close their doors and not do any business until that happens. So I would like that approved today, if all possible, because they'd have paid their unsafe fine, so we will continue to let them run as a grocery store, but not as a restaurant, because they are not ready yet.
So does,
You say a restaurant, it means that they don't bake, it means they don't fry, it means they don't do a bunch of other things, regardless of whether
Right.
they could be doing it for their own purposes or their own employees.
They should not be. And not in a facility like that, as a grocery store, if they were doing anything for their like lunch, they could have a microwave. But far as cooking, and anything that would be producing grease in a facility like that you have public, it would be a no. They can't do that, but they could do something in a microwave for themselves.
During business hours and after hours.
Right. That's correct.
Plus, they'd have to have the additional permit, and they'd have to be approved with all the safety in the hood and everything else.
So,
that was my question. Is there another inspection scheduled?
we're, fire inspector and I are keeping very close tabs on them. We actually, check it out every week. Literally every week. We go by there or stop in. So, yes. Because this is actually, the Ansel system that was actually in there, is not even done correctly. If you see a picture there, it has a little red, box and the conduit.
That's further down.
Right, nope,
Right up there.
there, that one there. That there is, if there's a fire that breaks out, that actually triggers and shuts off your natural gas automatically. And that way, the Ansel system itself can actually put the fire out, whatever it is, and we're not fueling it more with gas. So if you see where that conduit is not attaching at the top of that box, and that cable that goes through there, so that cable is on a tension cable. So there's a link that gets broken from the heat, and then it snaps that cable, and it triggers the Ansel system. So, and it shuts off the gas. So, and that's a big concern if that's not right.
So what you're wanting is for us to approve
Yeah, and we don't like shutting down
Condemnation
businesses. Yes, if they cannot comply or continue to comply to get an actual, they have reported to me that they are in the process of hiring a contractor to get them a new hood system that works and an Ansel system, but that has to go through a contractor, a state design release, and then once they get that and they get our inspections, and they get the level 2 or 3 from the health department and get the restaurant from us, and they would be in compliance. Then they will be capable of doing that.
As far as what they're able to do right now, they're still, though, not, are they in compliance for the grocery store?
Pretty close. We have a few small violations that the fire inspector is more or less handling, you know, like labeling the electrical panel, exit lights and backup lights and.
Are there target dates for those to be completed?
What do you got on that?
They were supposed to be inspected again the 30th, but they were not open that day. I just went by a bit ago, and they were open for the first time I've seen them.
So, that's why I kind of,
of. And see where they're at with it. But yes, we've been there more times than we've seen.
yeah. So if we catch them continuing to do this without the proper equipment, then we just have to know that they're not going to abide by the rules, and we got to shut the whole thing down until they do.
Now, would that come under an emergency condemnation for you? That you could
That's
bring
kind of
back?
like what we're doing now. It'd be, on our basically word, if we find it again, and that's what we're going to need to do, because they're obviously not going to stop at that point. They've been fined, and they've been ordered, and if they continue to do that, then what makes you think that they're not going to continue to do it any longer?
You said fines, plural.
Fine.
More than one time you fined them?
We've only done it once so far.
But you
But-
told them before you fined them on another occasion to stop it and knock it off.
We just ordered on another occasion. It was just an order. Yep,
Let that pass.
yep,
And then the fine came after the next violation.
yeah.
And this next one would be the one where you'd want to take action to shut them down.
Shut 'em down.
And have you been in touch with the Board of Health on?
A little bit, yeah, because I got to make sure that what level of health permit that they got, food permit that they got, because they got 5 or 6 different levels, something like that.
Because they've got even some powers that we don't have on some of that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah,
So let's say it wasn't these guys. You guys just stumble upon something similar to this that you view as dangerous as far as fire code or something like that. Do you have the authority at that time, or do you feel you have the authority at that time to condemn it and then bring it to us, and then we're the ones that have to lift it
yeah,
ultimately?
yeah.
So I'm just wondering, giving kind of an open-ended, I wonder if we even need to do anything on this if we're not,
And
doing
the
fine.
reason why this is in today is
Yeah.
because they haven't paid the fine. They were, due date was the 30th.
Yeah.
Which was Monday, right? Yeah, and they hadn't paid it until 2:45.
Yeah, and that's what so now that's paid, it's go back to emergency situation, bring it to us if you feel the need to do that. I mean, we can make a motion to allow him to condemn it, but if he has that authority anyway, then I guess.
And it would be another 30 days prior to this date if we did something like that. It wouldn't be like tomorrow, unless we went back tomorrow and we seen all the propane tanks.
Well, and that's my question is, if that happens, he sees that they're open, walks over there and it's there, regardless of what we do, I think, at that point, if you guys feel comfortable doing that, that's what you do, and then you come to us at the next meeting to affirm it, just to make sure, and then,
When you get called out on a Sunday
yeah,
for a fire,
oh yeah.
yeah, I feel comfortable of condemning something immediately.
Because this started, what, March, and then,
It's also started way back a whole year ago.
but this specific case started in March, and then that fine letter was not sent until the beginning of June.
Yeah,
So they had 2.5 months of knowledge of this before any fine was even placed. So,
As I understand it, they complied, and then as soon as you were gone and you got compliance, then they turned around and did the same thing.
Correct. Yep. So,
Yeah, I'd say if you're in line to do something, you need to.
okay. Well, we'll just leave it as what Gary and I will find and,
yeah. Yeah, if you find it, feel it's unsafe, then that's your prerogative. Then bring it to us, we'll affirm it and make sure everything's on that side of it so that we can follow up and ensure compliance.
yeah. All right.
So is there anything we need to do on this now if the fine's paid?
Doesn't sound like it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, next up is Street Department Chad. Sign request for the city council.
Yeah, the street department, on behalf of the city council, will request signage, the type of sign, no parking anytime signs. The reason for the request is because they had all those trees taken down earlier in the year. They planted new grass and people immediately started parking on it, making muddy ruts and an eyesore. So to prevent parking and keep it more aesthetically pleasing, they request no parking signs. There were previously 8 signs attached to the lamppost, no parking weekdays 7 to 4. And they would like to change those to no parking anytime signs.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to approve the city street closure, or sorry, sign request for no parking anytime.
Second.
Call for question.
Chris Martin,
Yes.
Levi Jones,
I just have one question. So, I live over in the neighborhood, this is why I'm bringing this up. So if you have something going on, say on a weekend or, a Friday night, and there's not much parking out, you can't park out front because it's a divided boulevard. So where would the cars be able to go? Because previously they'd put them in the island.
Yeah, what I would say is we live kind of in a spoiled age where walking is not that difficult. You can drive up, most of those houses have long driveways to the homes. If you had to deliver food or presents or something like that, drive up the driveway, drop off what you need, and then you could go park on 26th Street or Haney Street or Pennsylvania or East Rose Lawn. There are several streets up there. The only one you can't really park on is West Rose Lawn. So that's what I would say.
Works for me. Yes.
Jacob Alonso,
Yes.
Chad, you got a city street closure request.
Yes, this is Thieneman Construction. They're doing work for utilities on Wabash Avenue at the wastewater treatment plant. They need to close the street to replace a manhole, basically right in front of the wastewater plant. And I believe it is, yeah, it's July 7th to July 16th.
I'll make a motion to approve the city street closure request for Theinman Construction.
Second.
call for question. Chris Martin,
Yes.
Jacob Alonso,
Yes.
Levi Jones.
Yes.
Next up, applications for curb street cut.
Yes, so this is the same reason for the closure. Once again, Thieneman Construction, July 7th to July 16th for the manhole. And it will be excavated, and then it will be filled with stone, and then at a later date, it will be filled with hot patch asphalt.
Make a motion to approve the application for curb street cut for 1400 West Wabash Avenue.
Second.
Call for question.
Chris Martin,
Yes.
Levi Jones,
Yes.
Jacob Alonso.
Yes.
Next is Prime Contracting, 1428 Erie Avenue.
Yes, they're just replacing the sewer line from the house to the main sewer, and they will fill it with asphalt eventually. And it's possibly done today. Haven't been down there, but.
I'll make a motion to approve the application for curb street cut for 1428 Erie Avenue.
Second.
Question?
Jacob Alonso,
Yes.
Chris Martin,
Yes.
Levi Jones.
Yes.
All right, next is QC Communications.
Yes, QC Communication, working on behalf of Comcast Cable Corporation at 10 East Miami Avenue. It's the gas station located there. They're running communication lines. They're going to actually bore under Pearl Street. They won't be boring under East Miami. So there's no street cut, just going underneath.
I'll make a motion to approve the application for QC Communications.
Second.
Call for question. Levi Jones?
Yes.
Chris Martin?
Yes.
Jacob Palmsall?
Yes.
All right. Thanks, Chad.
Thanks, Chad.
You're welcome.
Next up is code enforcement. Randy?
Last week, we sent out 53 new notices for trash. We had 11 properties that we got cleared from the week before. We had to send out 13 citations, so 13 notices to appear. Had one property brought in before the Board of Works last week for the cleanup ordered. We had 3 cars that we tagged last week. Had 8 that we got cleared from the owners from the weeks before, and we have 22 still pending. We sent out 119 first notices for grass last week. We had 3 the week before that were cleared, and we had 19 that we would have had to send to the street department. We had 28 second notices last week for grass, and had 3 that we were gonna have to send over for street department.
Make a motion to approve the code enforcement weekly report.
Second.
Call for question. Chris Martin?
Yes.
Jacob Palmsall?
Yes.
Levi Jones?
Yes.
All right, next is request for property cleanup, 1328 Liberty Street. Is there anyone here to represent 1328 Liberty Street? Seeing none, go ahead, Randy.
This one was tabled from 2 weeks ago. We wanted to give them a little more time because the Monday before that Board of Works, they went and got their building permit to get started doing the remodel and stuff. At this time, we can go ahead and close this. They've done a tremendous amount of work in that past 2 weeks, so we're good with closing this one and moving on.
Okay. I'll make a motion to vote on the property cleanup at 1328 Liberty Street.
Second.
Call for question.
Chris Martin?
No.
Jacob Palmsall?
No.
Levi Jones?
No. Next is request for property cleanup or multiple violation properties for Center Street. Is there anyone here to represent Center Street? All right, seeing none, go ahead, Randy.
All right, this one, we have a few issues on this property, but right now we have a dumping issue with trash and debris there. This was where the building that was demolished recently out there, we still have all the bricks and stuff there that we're not sure how that goes. We got mowing issues, we have all kinds of issues there. The certified we sent out for this, they did confirm and sign for, but we have no response for them. So right now, we just need to get the cleanup ordered so we can at least get the trash part of it out of there right now and see where we're at with the bricks and stuff, because Rob and I were talking about it. Some of them consider it backfill and stuff, so we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do with all that, because that's a lot of stuff to move. It shouldn't be our responsibility to move.
It's not backfill.
No.
I'll make a motion to approve the property cleanup for Center Street.
Second.
Call for question.
Jacob Palmsall?
Yes.
Chris Martin?
Yes.
Levi Jones?
Yes.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
All right, next is electrical licenses. All the information has been submitted and went through, and so we are ready for approval. Electrical licenses for Adam Hartley, doing business as Hamstra Builders Incorporated, and Abdullah Tamimi, doing business as Budget Electric LLC. I'll make a motion to approve the electrical licenses as presented.
Second.
Call for question.
Levi Jones?
Yes.
Jacob Palmsall?
Yes.
Chris Martin?
Yes. All right, board member comments. Levi?
Done today.
All right, deputy?
Everybody enjoys the 4th, stays safe, hopefully, and then fair next week, so that'll be fun, always a great week to get out there and get as much of the unhealthy food as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah, why not?
On the 4th, when do the vendors start serving food? Down there,
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock starts line dancing. So everything starts at 5.
Busy during the winding.
Darn it. All right. Miscellaneous business and any matters not already considered, including ADA Section 504 compliance or concerns. All right, seeing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Call for question.
Jacob Palmsall?
Yes.
Chris Martin?
Yes.
Levi Jones?
Yes.
We are adjourned. Have a great day.